Hello, my friends. Happy Monday. This is your second edition of Morning Mindset in Tulum, currently in a hammock. It's pretty beautiful here. It's been so incredible to have this change of scenery. I think if there's one thing I know for sure from this past 18 months, it's that I will never take for granted the opportunity to travel and the ability that we have to just get out and explore and see new places. Sometimes all it takes is, just a little bit of a break in a beautiful spot to get some clarity. And that's definitely been so needed. So here, and my husband and I have had a really amazing time. Tulum is a pretty beautiful place. I highly recommend checking it out. Maybe some retreats here in the future. Could be a thing. But I wanted to share a message with you for our morning mindset this morning. And I just finished a workout. I'm drenched. I did 15 minutes of a workout and I'm literally drenched and going to jump in the pool immediately after this. But it is hot. It's hot. But you gotta get that. Gotta get those steps in, right? I'm addicted to my Peloton dot. So one of the things I wanted to share with you was one of the intentions that I set for this trip. And that was about letting go of worry and letting go of anxiety and just the constant race in my head of all the things happening all the time. There has been a lot to worry about for all of us for this past year and a half. A lot of things, a lot of uncertainty, right? A lot more worry than usual. And I read something recently, one of the books that I brought here, and it was a great reminder. And I reread The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. And in one of the chapters, it talked about how humans, we have over 6,500 thoughts a day, 6,500 different thoughts a day. And of all those thoughts, 95% of them are actually just repeated thoughts from the day before. Just thinking about the same shit, the same bullshit, the same drama, the same limiting beliefs, the same whatever, and repeating it over in your head. And 95% is just repeated energy on old stuff, right? And then of all those 95 thoughts, 85% of them are actually negative. 85% of the things that we're thinking about are negative, and they're worrying about things or stressing about things that don't even happen, right? We just create worries and create stress because it keeps our mind safe, right? It feels comfortable to be thinking about this. And when I read this and I was reminded of this, I was just thinking, just doing some reflection to myself about the wasted energy that goes into thinking about things that probably don't even happen, right? 85% of the things don't actually even happen. And of the things that actually do happen, actually know how to get through it. We're so resilient and we just figure it out, right? So why worry about it? And when I came to Tulum, when I came to this experience, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of change happening right now. A lot of positive things. Brighter days are for sure coming. We're reuniting, reconnecting. I get to celebrate bringing part of my business back that's been lost, live events and all that. But I caught myself in this place of worrying again about all the change that was upcoming. And so the intention I set was just to be as present as possible and to be as still as possible. And it was perfectly timed to read this book, because the challenge that I set for myself after seeing that was every time I notice a worry pop into my head, every time I notice that my brain goes to a place of a negative thought or a fear or a worry, I actually am repeating a little mantra inside of my head of that's not to worry about, that's not to worry about, that's not to worry about right now. And it brings me back to the present moment. And my husband and I, we went and did this really cool be meditation. It was really interesting, and it was like using all these different honeys in the meditation. It was 90 minutes, and like the meditation, the instructor was super eccentric and like played all these crazy instruments, and it was really, really amazing. And as I was sitting in this beautiful experience in this beautiful place, I felt worry sink in. You know, I was thinking about like, oh, I got to figure that out. I've got to respond to that person. I've got to do this thing. Oh no, like, you know, financially, is that going to work out? What about this? What about this? And I was like scenario playing and snapped myself back, and I remembered like, okay, come back to your intention, be present. That's not something for you to worry about right now. And what helped me was coming back to my breath, coming back to my breath, coming back to like focusing on like wiggling my toes or looking at something that was close by, so it brought me back into the present moment. But just saying to myself, like, is that something you should be worrying about right now? Is it? And you know, that when I ask myself that question, I can say, well, is that something I can control? Is it something that I can change? And if the answer is no, then cool, let it go. And if, you know, it is something that I can change, I can say, well, could I just come back to that later? Can I worry about it later? Because it's robbing me of the present moment. And I think that's what I've recognized is that, and you know, it's just always a powerful reminder, but worry is robbing us of being present. It's robbing us of being present in our lives, of fully experiencing joy in the moment, of having depth in our relationships and our connections, right? We're talking to people that we care about, you know, whether it's your partner, your kid, your spouse, your whatever, and you're playing this to-do list in your head, or you know, just replaying things in your head that you can't actually do it about, and it's taking away from what it would mean to actually really be present in your life and fully present and fully grounded in what's happening today. And really, that's all we have. Like we only have this moment right now, and we're always thinking about what's going to happen around the corner, or what's going to happen next week, or what's going to happen, we don't know, right? And we experienced that big time. None of us could have prepared for what the last 18 months looked like, and yet here we are, and we rallied through it, and not enough, there's no amount of worrying in the world that could have slowed or stopped what actually happened, and we're here. So what I wanted to leave with you today was some things that have been really helping me, and to be present, because I know the fall is gonna come fast. There's gonna be a lot of busyness, you know, like things coming back, and right now I'm not gonna worry about it, because right now I know that I need to rest, I need to recharge, I need to take care of myself, I need to be present in my life, and by being present in my life, it's helping me tap into, you know, asking myself some powerful questions of like, what do I want to change going forward? What am I going to repeat? Or where am I going to evolve? Or, you know, what are the things that I'm going to let back into my life? Or what are the things that I'm going to let go of for good? And I don't have space to think about worrying. So think about that. The 95% of the things that you're thinking about is something that you thought about before. And what if you could exchange those thoughts with thinking about possibility, with thinking about opportunity, with thinking about new ideas, new ways to be creative, new goals, new dreams, new positive thinking, new positive thoughts, and more fulfilling relationships, right? What if you could replace all those things with that? So really powerful, just a simple shift. And something I've been doing is keeping a worry list. And so this is sort of your mission for the week, if you're up for it, is just put a worry list. I'm sweating so much. Put a worry list in your, I have it in my notes in my phone. So I just have like, it's called worry list. And what I do is when something pops into my mind of like, oh, I got to get back to that person, or I'm kind of worried about this or whatever, I just pop it on the list, and then it's out of sight. It's out of my brain. And, I notice when I come back to that list in a couple of days, I'm like, oh, that's not even something to be worried about. Like, what was I worried about? That's so dumb. So keep the worry list. And notice, like just be mindful of what these things are that you're so worried about, and ask yourself, is there a more powerful, positive, enriching thought that I could have instead of this worry? It's going to make a ripple effect in all your relationships and everything that you do. It's really, really powerful, and I hope that that can really support you too. So I'd love to know what's on your worry list, and let me know how that goes. Let me know how that lands for you. And what I want for you is more opportunities to be present in the now, to be present for what's happening for you right now, to find more joy, to cultivate more happiness, more joy in every single day. And we're not going to get there if we just continue to worry and think about the same things over and over again. So go start your worry list and notice your breath. If you're struggling to be present or losing yourself in things that might happen in the future, come back to your breath, the simple things. Come back to journaling, writing a gratitude list. It's all really powerful ways to come back to the present. Or find something, an object, a tree, a rose, a flower, a wall, a painting, and just lock eyes with it and be present. So I hope you have an amazing start to your day. Take some time for yourself to write down that gratitude, to set your intentions for the week, to think about how you want to show up in your life, for yourself, for your people, for your community, in your work, how intentional you want to be this week, how you want to feel, and define it. What would make this week a fuck yes week? And maybe it's just worrying a little bit less. Sending so much love from Tulum, and I hope you have a wonderful week. See you soon. Until next time. Bye, friends.